Hello everyone, welcome to the Generation Y conservative review of the movie Unplanned. Based on a true story, Unplanned centers around Abby Johnson, whom, through flashbacks, we learn started her career in Planned Parenthood after accepting false mission statements by the organization's booth on her college campus, which leads her to volunteer at the local abortion clinic as an escort for incoming mothers looking to have an abortion. Abby's ambition and drive to succeed in her job and her naive notion of actually helping women gets her promoted through the ranks to becoming a campus booth person herself, an office worker, and eventually a Planned Parenthood Employee of the Year clinic director. The movie does a great job showing how her parents are staunchly pro-life and want her out of the profession, but maintain their love and support for her as to not scare her off, meanwhile praying for divine intervention into her life. Even Abby's second husband takes serious issue with her profession and makes it very clear to her. Abby often tries to communicate her workday to her family only to have it fall on deaf, unwelcoming ears with no responses, a cold shoulder approach to showing their disdain for killing babies. Unplanned spotlights many things that the audience as a whole should take into consideration. For women, the illusion that Planned Parenthood is there for women's health, and that abortion is only one service. The fact is, they are there as an abortion mill to push the baby-killing service and make money. For family of those that are pro-abortion, taking a loving approach while also ignoring their talk about abortion as a positive idea is probably one of the best ways to show that you don't like their support of the act but love them. For Christians, the difference between those that stand with signs of aborted babies screaming and yelling at women is oftentimes, and I would argue most times, the least effective way to both prevent abortion and to change one's hearts towards Christ.
No matter what you do for the rest of your life, you're still going to be a baby killer.
After years of simple conversation through offense, a soft-spoken Christian woman who showed love and compassion toward Abby as a worker was able to help her transition into being a pro-life advocate. The movie was described to me as having a very life-changing, emotionally charged scene that lasted around the vicinity of about 20 seconds. My guess is this is one that happens within the first 5 minutes of the movie, showing the ultrasound abortion taking place as the baby recoils from the vacuum and exhibits pain as the doctor extracts the baby in pieces. While this is a tough scene to watch, those of us who are staunchly pro-life probably already know what happens, but it is terrifying to see nonetheless. Another scene showing one of Abby's own abortions, a chemically induced abortion via pill, lends to one of the more horrifying scenes in the movie, showcasing not only the extremely physical stress it puts on a woman's body for days, but also the nonchalant manner in which Planned Parenthood brushes it off as, quote, a gentle flushing of the uterus, which turns out to be anything but, looking instead like a post-massacre scene from a horror movie. While the visuals of these two scenes make us in the audience grip our seats as our stomach turns, it was a character interaction scene that made me tear up the most. When we think about women who feel they need to get an abortion, however they justify that in their minds, we often think that these are women who are left alone in society and have no one to support them, oftentimes hiding their pregnancy from their loved ones due to fear or simply getting one as a matter of convenience. One scene depicts a woman getting out of her car with her young daughter in tow, obviously knowing the value of the child's life, on her way in to get an abortion. The woman's mother, the child's grandmother, is on the other side of the fence screaming through tears for her daughter not to go through with it, that she actually has family support.
Rhonda, babe, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Whatever you need, you can come live with us. That baby you're carrying is gonna be just as beautiful as Lily. Rhonda, don't do this. Rhonda!
While Christian-based movies have been getting better in regards to acting, Unplanned certainly has the chops for a Hollywood-level film. My one criticism is of the over-the-top portrayal of the boss of Abby, who is presented like a Cruella de Vil character, pushing abortions like she has the devil's right hand on her shoulder puppeting her, and the obliviousness of Planned Parenthood workers on what they are actually doing in the clinics. While hard to balance on screen for characters, the truth may lie closer to the fact that Planned Parenthood sees babies being killed as merely numbers, objectives, and goal setting for the clinics to make money without an ounce of sympathetic humanity behind them. The question isn't should you see Unplanned, it's when are you going to see Unplanned? And the fact is that you should support this movie financially in the theaters to let Hollywood and dissenters know that this is who we are. This is what we support. This is the kind of movies we are looking for, and that we refuse to allow Hollywood to beat independent filmmakers into the darkness any longer without consideration for the great things that they provide to society. The Generation Y conservative movie score for Unplanned is 8.5 out of 10. And while it's rated R, specifically a tactic used by the rating systems to keep Christians out of the theaters and drive down ticket prices, I would argue that you should go and see this movie if you are a Christian. You should also be taking your kids to see it if they're over the age of 14, in my mind. If a film is rated R because of scenes in it that kids shouldn't be seeing under the age of 18, then you can't also be advocating for kids under the age of 18 to be able to go into a clinic and receive an abortion without their parents' permission. That should tell you something. As I said, not only should you see this, I would encourage you to bring any of your children over the age of 14 to see it so that they can grasp the knowledge of what an abortion is and why sex isn't a pleasure game. After the movie, you should discuss how you as a parent are there to support and love them under any circumstances, and that they shouldn't be afraid to approach you if they or their partner get pregnant, and then discuss choices like adoption. Unplanned is still in theaters and just about to be released internationally. Go and see it as soon as you can, and then let me know in the comments what scene impacted you the most.